Welcome to Oxford Community Television News. I'm Elgin Nichols, and joining me in the Oxford Weekly News is co-anchor Terry Stiles.
Hi, Elgin. It's really great to be back on the desk again.
What are the top stories for this week, Terry?
Well, top stories are you need to be careful while you're shopping the next couple weeks, and will the Village of Oxford run out of road salt before winter's over?
Stay tuned for these stories and learn more, and the Oxford News begins right now. A woman reported to 911 that her wallet was stolen from her shopping cart while at a grocery store at 900 North Lapeer Road. She first noticed that the wallet was stolen when she went to pay for the items at checkout. Store security reviewed the store's video but found nothing unusual. The woman reported the loss of $70 to $80 in cash, her driver's license, social security card, and checkbook. If you know more about this theft, which occurred on Tuesday, January 8th, police are asking for your help.
And on Thursday, January 30th, a student at Oxford Bridges discovered her wallet missing from her purse. The wallet was later found by another student a few hours after it was reported missing. The victim told police that the wallet and personal items were recovered. However, over $100 in cash was missing.
And also, Oxford Village Police were called to the block of 10 North Washington Street, where a parent was being verbally abusive to staff. Officers walked the man to the parking lot and advised him to deal with the proper channels and not return to the building.
And Elgin, wait till you hear this next story. A woman located at the 50 block of East Burdick in Oxford called the Oxford Village Police requesting an officer to come break up a fight between her 8-year-old and her 10-year-old children. Elgin, I don't know, what do you think should happen to those kids?
I think they should be sentenced to life in prison, and I think their mother should be sentenced also to supervise them.
Right.
Now, some local business people expressed appreciation to the Oxford Village Police Department by recognizing the police department's efforts to protect and service the community by presenting the department with a check for $7,000. On behalf of his department, in Oxford Police Chief Mike Niemanowski accepted the generous donation, commenting that the money would be used to fit 3 of their patrol cars with new video recording systems, allowing officers to be safer on patrol. Chief Niemanowski expressed his thanks by saying his officers and staff feel good about knowing that their jobs are appreciated by the community.
And Elgin, an Addison Township resident, Don DeFall, suspected his rings were stolen by a man he befriended and who he was trying to help get back on his feet. The man in question has a criminal record involving drugs and mental illness. The items were sentimental gifts from his parents, now deceased. DeFall, who volunteers with Free Meals on Wheels at Oxford United Methodist Church, first noticed the rings were missing, and he said, in January, and he said that he has forgiven the man and told police that he has no interest in arrest or retribution, just recovering his rings. If you can help Don get possession of his rings back, please call the Oxford Leader at 248-628-4801.
The record-breaking winter continues to deplete the maintenance budgets of county road commissions throughout Michigan. However, according to Don Brantley, superintendent of the Oxford Village Department of Public Works, DPW, they are sitting pretty good. Brantley's department still has more than 50% of its salt budget remaining. They began the season with about 350 to 400 tons left over from the past 2 years. Over the years, the equipment has been well maintained, so there have been no serious breakdowns. There have been only a couple of water main freezes, and they were repaired quickly.
And you are never too old to build a snow fort. Just ask brothers Lewis and Greg Marshall, both Oxford High School students who couldn't resist all that fun snow in the last couple weeks. Lewis and Greg each offered their own advice to fellow snow fort builders. Make sure bases are strong and thick, and don't try to use powdered snow or ice because the fort will fall apart. Greg added, don't knock it over either. Now that's the local Oxford news for this week. If you would like to learn about these stories and more, catch up with the Oxford Leader at your local stores. Pick up a copy anytime throughout the week.
And coming up next on OCTV, more news. First with Oxford Local Sports with Rod Wright, then join Dave Kenny with his automotive talk show and Science in the News programs. Right after their reports, I'll be back with your weekly calendar of events.
This is Oxford Community Television News, and I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember to always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, General Motors is introducing a new cargo van built by Nissan Motor Company under a supply alliance formed last year to compete with Ford Motor Company's Transit Connect in the U.S. The 2015 Chevrolet City Express will go on sale later this year. GM wants to expand its commercial vehicle business with the new van, as well as redesigned heavy-duty pickups and new mid-size trucks. The City Express revealed at the Chicago Auto Show is based on Nissan's NV200. GM said Chevrolet is expanding its optional bi-fuel engines, which can run on compressed natural gas or gasoline, to all cab types of the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD and 3500 HD pickups. The City Express will offer 122.7 cubic feet of cargo space and an estimated payload capacity of 1,500 pounds, GM said. The cargo van supply arrangement is the first in North America for GM and Nissan, which builds the NV200 in Mexico. And sad news in Australia. Ford Motor Company says it will cut production in Australia by 1/3, with about 300 jobs to go in June, spurring worries that the car maker may exit the country sooner than its planned 2016 deadline. Last year, Ford announced plans to shut its 2 Australian plants in October of 2016, blaming a strong currency and high costs that are hitting manufacturers. The country's auto industry was hit another blow in December when General Motors Corporation said it would stop making cars in Australia by 2017, leaving Japan's Toyota Motor Corporation as the sole global automaker producing in Australia. The decision raised concerns that the company might speed up its shutdown process sooner than planned. And on the rental car front, young adults want to own their own vehicles, a survey by the industry's largest rental car company found. And they use rental cars as extended test drives. Contrary to other studies that have indicated millennials favor electronic gadgets over a set of wheels, a survey by Enterprise Holdings found that 79% of the 25 to 34-year-olds surveyed believe that owning one's own vehicle is extremely important. It also found that 68% say their first experience with new automobile technology is via rental vehicles. That's further proof that rental cars outfitted with the latest technology are among the best ways for auto companies to expose their products to younger vehicle buyers, says Kurt Kohler, Senior Vice President for Acquisition and Marketing at Enterprise. This past year, we bought a little over 6% of all the cars and light trucks that were sold in the United States, he said. The OEMs understand that and know that this is a great place for them to get exposure. Kohler said the survey also reveals that millennials are interested in the vehicles they rent and use rentals as extended test drives that put them in the mood to shop for a new car. A positive rental experience caused 88% of millennials who participated in the survey to change their minds about the specific make and model vehicle they rented, and motivated 28% to start shopping for a new car. And at Fiat Chrysler, strong demand for Ram pickups has Chrysler Group executives looking at breaking their vows and building an auto plant in North America. During a conference call 2 weeks ago to discuss the company's $1.6 billion fourth quarter profit, CEO Sergio Marchionne said he and other Fiat executives were debating whether to build a third pickup plant to meet demand for Ram light and heavy-duty pickups. Marchionne, who vowed during the recession never to build another assembly plant in North America, says his preference is to run existing pickup plants in Warren, Michigan and Saltillo, Mexico, flat out. He says he believes Chrysler could increase pickup production by 15 to 20% without requiring an additional plant. He placed the odds of building a new plant under 50%. Sales of Ram pickups, which were re-engineered for the 2013 model year, are Chrysler's best-selling vehicles and were up 20%. Or 21% in 2013. By comparison, sales of all full-size pickups in the United States only rose 17% last year. The pickup debate was revealed on the day that the board of directors at Chrysler's corporate owner, Fiat SPA, voted to rename itself Fiat Chrysler Automobiles NV. The company, which unveiled a new corporate logo, said it would retain its existing 4 global operating regions. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course! This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hi, this is John Ochins with the Oxford School News for the week of February 3rd. Oxford Middle School is holding its Chinese Winter Camp. 21 Chinese middle school students are visiting our area this week to get to know us and our culture a bit better. They are visiting the University of Michigan, shadowing and staying with some of our students, seeing a Pistons game, and even bowling a game or two. Friday, February 21st is Oxford Community Schools Night at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The Pistons will be playing the Atlanta Hawks, and Oxford staff and students are eligible for a free voucher for the game. Oxford schools will be featured. Oxford Schools invites parents of students of all ages to attend seminars on cyber safety. This is part of the Michigan Cyber Safety Initiative. Michigan CSI was piloted in the spring of 2007 and has been presented to more than 800,000 students since. One of these sessions will be at 7 p.m. on February 11th at the Lakeville Media Center. The Cyber Safety Initiative offers 4 age-appropriate presentations on responsible online behavior. Principal Chad Boyd of Daniel Axford will be taking it on the chin and maybe a bit more this week. They just concluded a fund run earning money for charity. The prize for the top money raisers, giving the principal a pie in the face. That's the latest news from Oxford Schools. I'm John Ochins. Have a great week.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Oh, where's it at? Oh, there it is. Wildcat hat. I couldn't find my Olympic cup. The Olympics about to start. We were happy about that. Hughes had this since back in '84. Yes, Sarajevo. We're looking for a great time in Sochi and hopefully some good Olympics. I always like watching the Olympics on TV. Hopefully you do as well. How'd you like that bit? We practiced it. Anyways, the Oxford Lady Wildcats couldn't get the job done on the court against the Detroit Colts on the physical Winterfest game that led to a 45-36 loss. While they trailed behind most of the first half, the Lady Cats fought back to the end of the second quarter to a 2-point lead of 23-21. They could not match the Colts in the second half as they were outscored 24-13. In the final 2 quarters, Oxford was led by Jessica Murphy with 15.6 rebounds. Sherilyn Banish chipped away at 8. Losing the cause, though, the Colts were led by Rachel Slomansky, 16 points. Nicole Nemec, she contributed 9. Coach Emmert said, still trying to regroup after the Murphy returning from a missing of 4 games due to an injury. He is hoping to fix some issues during practice this week. Quoting him now, "We want to emphasize working on execution, following through what your teammates doing. Let's just basically communicate." Those are the things we want to do every day, and they are going to practice them this week. The ladies will return to the court on Thursday against Birmingham Groves. The game will start at 7 o'clock. We'll again have the results on next week's broadcast. Grapplers finished the regular season taking a second place at the OAA Red Championship Tournament. Oxford last Friday, they scored 178 points, while Oxford actually took first place at 212. Rochester rounded it out. They were in the third position. They only had 133. And a successful team, Oxford Holly, the tandem team of skiing, talking about great stuff in the Olympics, and Oxford locally here. The girls team beat Flushing 26-53. The girls came off losses on the slopes in the first two races as they stepped up against Flushing. According to the coach, the boys team put together perfect scores on the huge victory as well, 20-74 over Flushing. The boys and girls hit the slopes on January 20th and 30th at Flint Powers. Again, both meet at 4:30. We'll have the results on the broadcast next week. The Oxford Wildcats finally got to bowl at Collier Lanes, their home bowling arena, Thursday against the newly formed Bloomfield team. After 5 matches on the road, it was great to be back at home. The Oxford girls won 29-1. Alyssa Hurlbutt at 179. Hannah Farmer had 198. Stephanie Ann Chismania. Hope I have it right. It's Stephanie, we'll call her, right? 173 led the way. The girls' record stands at 4 wins and 2 losses. They are third place. The fifth-ranked boys won 30 points in their victory. Mitch Kessler had 221, Michael Johnson 208, Jake DeLong 213, Sean McGinney 246, Brandon Hurlbutt 233, Brady Wycoop had 214. This runs the boys' record to 5-1. They are a game behind the Clarkston team in the second place. Bowling well in the JV action was David Stasser at 196, center Antelope and Ann Johnson. Carter Antelope, that was the name actually, at 196. Ann Johnson had 204. Kelly Caldwell had 196. Both varsity teams will travel to the 5-star lane this next weekend at the Tri-County Challenge at Troy Lanes is the home center for the Troy Athens bowling team. The Wildcats from Oxford went there Monday night and made it in their own. The varsity girls won all but 1 point, winning 29-1. Leading the way was sophomore Hannah Farmer at 202 and to 188. Freshman Megan Kessler bowled well, 172 and 173 respectively. Junior Alyssa Hurlbutt had 196. The girls are now 3 wins, 2 losses on the season. The varsity boys were nearly as dominant, winning 24-6. Captain Brandon Hurlbutt led the way with 232 and 256. Also, Sean McGinney at 205. Brady Wycoop had 227. Senior Jason Petty tossed in a 214. That brings the boys' record up to 4-1. Congrats to them. Congrats also to the JV bowlers, Tristan Boyce, who tossed a fine 226 and 199. Will Mace shot at 213. The boys' JV team is still undefeated. They're just unbelievable on the lanes. 5 wins. The team now has a stretch home matches. That'll be Thursday against Bloomfield. If you want to catch them, all 5 matches are right here locally at Collier Lanes in Oxford. Go out and support your bowling team. Again, if you have any information about sports, you want something covered, or maybe you want to send me a score that we're not covering, feel free to email me, octvnews@hotmail.com. Again, that's octvnews@hotmail.com. Title it Sports with Jamie. In the words of Ron Burgundy, and we hope for a safe Olympics. Stay safe, Oxford. We'll see you next week.
Enroll, we say. We want you to be okay. Enroll, we say. Take care, people, for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. Well, it was a tough nut to crack, but for the first time, children with a potentially lethal peanut allergy have essentially been cured using oral immunotherapy. We've shown fantastic results with over 80% of children being able to tolerate eating peanuts regularly after treatment, says Andrew Clark of Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge, UK. 2% of children are allergic to peanuts, and around 50 people in the U.S. die each year from the allergy. The trial involved 99 children with a peanut allergy aged between 7 and 16. In a hospital setting, half of the children were given a tiny dose of peanut flour, around 2 milligrams, in their food once a day. The same amount was then added to their meals at home for the next 2 weeks. Then, over a 6-month period, the daily peanut dose was ramped up every 2 weeks, each time at hospital to reach 800 milligrams, the equivalent of 5 peanuts. A control group of 50 children received no therapy and continued to avoid exposure to peanuts. At the end of the trial period, the researchers found that 41 of the 49 therapy recipients could tolerate the 800 milligram dose safely, and 24 of them could even handle 1,400 milligrams. What's more, the effects of the therapy have lasted 5 years to date with no sign of peanut intolerance reemerging. It's huge, absolutely huge, says Maureen Jenkins, Director of Clinical Services at Allergy in the UK. There hasn't been any way of treating this before. The research team stresses that the regime should not be attempted beyond the controlled environment of a hospital until it has been developed further, but those who took part in the trial says it has transformed their lives. A year after the trial, I could eat 5 whole peanuts with no reaction at all, says 11-year-old Lena Barden. But I still hate peanuts. And in space, boom, you can almost feel the impact that formed this recent Martian crater. Yes, Martian. The planet's characteristic red has been removed from this image, leaving just the bluish hues of the material thrown up from beneath the surface. The crater is about 30 meters across, and the impact ejected material as far as 15 kilometers away. This image was snapped by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, last November, but the asteroid that made the splash is thought to have hit Mars between July of 2010 and May of 2012. MRO's low-resolution camera spotted a change in the surface between those two dates, so NASA scientists trained the high-res camera on the area for a closer look, and that's what you see. And still in space, it's alive! After suffering a critical injury last year, NASA's Kepler Space Telescope has just observed an exoplanet for the first time in months. The Jupiter-sized world is not a new discovery. It was found by another telescope. But spotting it again with Kepler is solid evidence that following a few modifications, the famed planet hunter is ready to get back to work. Launched in 2009, Kepler was designed to see planetary transits, the tiny dips in starlight when a planet passes in front of its star from Earth's perspective. Over 4 years, the mission collected almost 250 confirmed planets and thousands more candidates, boosting our confidence that the galaxy is brimming with alien worlds. But observations ground to a halt last year when mechanical failures killed Kepler's precision steering system and ruined its ability to hold steady enough to see transits. At least until now. At a meeting in November last year, the Kepler team announced the K2 mission, which would use the radiation pressure from sunlight to hold the craft steady for up to 75 days at a time. During a test in January, the K2 team nabbed their first planet, a previously identified gas giant called WASP-28b, seeing a clear signal as verification that Kepler's new mission concept will work as planned. WASP-28b is about the size of Jupiter and is on a very tight orbit around its star with a year that lasts just 3.4 Earth days. Unfortunately, K2 will not be able to carry on with Kepler's original quest to find habitable Earth-sized planets around sun-like stars. To confirm that a planet is real, Kepler needed to see it transit 3 times, meaning true Earth twins would take about 3 years to confirm. The modified space telescope won't be able to maintain its lock on a star for that long. But the K2 mission will be able to collect data on very young stars and search for planets or planet-forming disks around them. Well, that's all for this edition of Science in the News. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome to another segment of the news we call your weekly calendar of events, where we feature your weekly calendar of local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity, special fundraisers, and general community information. Now, if you or your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number 248-628 248-9658, or you can go to our website at occtv.org. Now through February 12th, there is a silent auction going on. The Oxford Public Library, Friends, 530 Pontiac Road, is auctioning several book-themed baskets, each containing a new or gently used book, plus items that go with that book. Proceeds will go to the benefit library and its patrons, and for more additional information, call 248-628-3034. Now on Sunday, February 16th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bald Mountain State Recreation Area, 1330 Green Shield Road, Lake Orion, you can, and your family can, get free ice fishing instructions and demonstrations of fly fishing. Park and recreation instructors will explain gear needed and how to drill a hole in the ice and where to find the best fish. Just go to the Bald Mountain State Recreation Area and meet at the Hearth Shelter. Watch for signs to direct you, and you will require a recreation pass to enter the park, however. And for more information, you can call 231-944-0078. Friday, February 21st and Saturday, February 22nd at 7 p.m., the Brandon High School Performing Arts Center at 1025 South Ortonville Road in Ortonville presents Annie, Get Your Gun. Tickets are available at the door for only $10, or for advance tickets, call Jody at 248-766-1289. The Leonard Summer Strawberry Festival Committee is seeking volunteers to help coordinate the annual Strawberry Festival to be held in July of this year. They are looking for people who want to get involved with booth rentals, entertainment, and almost every facet of interest. Requirements for all jobs: be prepared to meet nice, down-to-earth people and have fun. The Leonard Summer Strawberry Festival Committee meets at 6:30 p.m. on the first Monday of every month at the Roland Hall, 23 East Elmwood Street in Leonard. For more information, call Shar Sotheby at 248-628-5924 or Phyllis Rowe at 248-628-5471. February is Kindergarten Enrollment Month for Oxford School District. Pre-enroll by going to online at oxfordschools.org. Parents should bring all required documents to the district's central office, 10 North Washington Street in downtown Oxford. Documents include 2 proofs of residency, original birth certificate, health appraisal completed by a doctor, and immunization records and vision test. And your driver's license. For more information, call 248-969-5019. The number again, 248-969-5019. The Oakland County Health Division is offering free vision screening for all county children entering kindergarten. This screening is required under state law. To make an appointment, call 248-424-7070. Addison Township and Lake Orion Townships are still both seeking volunteers for Meals on Wheels drivers. If you're a senior and you have 1 hour per week to share, or maybe 1 hour every other week, you can make sure that no senior goes hungry. For more information, you can call 248-628-3388 or 248-693-0440. If you have local business, or if you are interested in a person or organization wanting to show your support for local Oxford school sports, music, concerts, or any of the many programs broadcast from our TV station, you could become a sponsor or an underwriter on OCTV. It's very easy and it's inexpensive, and for more information, contact our station manager, Bill Service, at 248-628-9658, or send a message of interest to his email address, which is manager@occtv.org. Now, we at Oxford Community TV would like our television viewing public to learn more about your club or organization's special upcoming event or charity. So if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658, or again, go to our website at occtv.org. A final reminder, check out our OCTV viewing schedule for my good friend Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interviews on our community access program. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols. We invite you to join us again for the next segment of your weekly calendar of events.